Welcome back. Welcome in. You have found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Focus Show, here to help you to be gruntled with your fantasy football team and your fantasy football decisions. I am your humble host, Brian DeMigo Baldwin, and it's my pleasure, my absolute pleasure, to introduce to you Ethan, the Doc Marshall. Hey, Ethan, how you doing?
Thanks, man. I'm very happy to be here. I'm doing good. Just psyched to be. This is like the beginning of the fantasy season. Once draft is over, you know.
Yeah, once Yahoo gets the rookies into the mock drafts. What's going on, man? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And of course, over there, Connor, the Gut Marshall. How you doing, Connor?
What's up, party people? Beginning of the fantasy 2023 season. Let's go.
There we go. Yeah, you're down. You guys are down. Y'all can say stuff like that. I can't. Yeah, it's now. Check this out, guys. Check this out, because this is the group. This is the group that was like the first episode ever of Shoot the Gap was this group right here. And now this is our 152nd show. Yeah, so, yeah, May the 4th, yes. Yeah, and in this hopeful year of our Lord, and man, we have a great show for you today. So this is basically our NFL draft wrap-up show. So we're going to be going over the big fantasy news out of the draft, and also talk about how some vets were affected. So there's a lot to get to. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. So, of course, who wants to say it? Ethan, you're rarely on here. I'll let you say it. It's May the 4th. Go ahead, man. In the spirit of what?
May the 4th be with you.
Yes, in the spirit of that. Yeah, we thought that it'd be kind of fun to see which NFL players compare to certain Star Wars characters. And yes, there'll be some draft coverage in this. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be feeling, but there's gonna be some that are not gonna be draft. So, all right, so let's get started. Connor, why don't you throw out the first character? Basically what we're gonna do is that one of us is gonna say a character, and then who player we think it's like, and then we'll discuss it. We might have the same. We might not. We don't know. We haven't talked about it, so it's gonna be just as much a surprise to you as to us as it is to you guys. So we're kind of living the moment with everybody. Go ahead, Connor. What's your first Star Wars character?
Okay, I'll open up the floors with a fun one. So I thought of the Mando, of course, and I was trying to think, okay, who's the most Mando-like out of everyone in the NFL? And I came to the conclusion that Jalen Hurts is the Mando. I thought that was a pretty fun one.
Jalen, okay, why?
I don't know, just kind of like the stature he is. He's not super big, and he's combating all these bigger guys, but he's still very physical, and he's winning all these matchups, and kind of his stature, just everything. It just seemed like a good comp to me.
And who's Grogu in that situation?
That's a good question.
You gotta have that.
Subscribe to find out.
Ethan, okay, so Ethan, I'm gonna ask you. You're gonna be the judge, because I don't have a Mandalorian, but I have a Boba Fett. So is this a Boba Fett moment now, or is it all grouped together, or what is this? You're the judge. You're the doc.
I have to be honest, I've not watched The Mandalorian, so I am not the person to ask this, because I only am aware of Boba Fett as well. So is the comp, like, what is it about Jalen Hurts that seems like Boba Fett?
I'm telling you, like, if you watch I don't mean to be all, oh, you have to watch it, but like, I'm telling you.
I assume you probably do. That's why it's a tough reference for me to get, because I'm only aware of Boba Fett, the guy that hit the wall and fell into the whatever thing in the sand.
Mainly him, like, being the underdog in a lot of his matchups, like in terms of stature, like that was a really big selling point for me.
I shouldn't have started this off with Connor. I should have started off with you, Ethan. That was my problem.
Well, then right your wrong. Let's audible it.
Okay. No, because we don't have a Mando, so that's your Mandalorian. So that's the show's
the Mando. That's the show's Mando. Congratulations, everyone.
Okay, you know what? I'll say this. This is the way. Okay, move on, dude.
Yeah,
okay.
There we go.
Okay, go ahead, Ethan. You put out a character. Put us back on track.
My first one is low-hanging fruit, all right?
Good. We need one.
It's kind of a compliment. So I have Bryce Young as Yoda, mainly because of how small he is, but also because of how formidable he could be. And it's going to be one of those things where you don't see it coming. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, he's doing backflips over everyone, killing us, right? But you wouldn't think of it because he's this small little dude who has dealt with injuries. You know, he's got his little thing, you know? That's where I'm at with Bryce.
And
Okay.
he's green, so
Okay. All right.
that was a good one.
It was a good one. You got us back on track. I actually don't have a Yoda. You know, I do. Okay, then go for it, Connor. Who's your Yoda?
Now this one is kind of a reach as well, but for Yoda, I have Tom Brady because he is kind of old and feeble, but he uses magic and is very powerful. it's kind of where I was going.
And he looks a lot younger than his age.
Exactly. He's secretly thousands of years old.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's okay. All right. I mean, I can see that.
I kind of like the Docs better.
That was good. That one was good. Yeah. I was racking my brain all day for Yoda. I couldn't come up with one. Here's Ethan.
Again, low-hanging fruit for me.
No, not low enough because I sure couldn't grab it. I spent all day reaching for that thing. So, yeah. All right, so let me go ahead. Let me go with. I'm going to go with Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker.
Nice.
All right, and my Luke Skywalker is Breece Hall. Okay, and let me explain to you why. Okay, he was drafted with the hope of being an amazing player. All right, and he really was amazing when given his chance. Okay, just like Luke destroying the Death Star, right? But then he had a devastating injury, right? He tore his ACL in October. Luke lost his hand, but all reports is that he's ahead of his schedule and will be back at his full power, as powerful as he was before. Yeah, doesn't matter. He has the injury. He's going to have the new ACL added on, and he's going to be back to wielding the Force. Yeah.
All right, so my Luke, I had a Luke as well, and it was similar mindset. Also, not a rookie. Brock Purdy.
I like it.
For that exact reason. He came in and he was like, came out of nowhere, blowing up the Death Star, right? And then, he meets the 49ers, who are his daddy, and he got his arm cut off. And so, that's who I had for Luke.
Okay, all right, that's a good one. Good one. Connor, between nuts there in your mouth. Yeah.
I have to say, in terms of fantasy relevance, Breece Hall is going to be much more fantasy relevant than Brock Purdy. So
who knows?
Those points alone.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah. I mean, later on in the year, Brock Purdy, the 49ers have already said that whenever he's healthy, he's the guy. It's his job. So you might not be wrong. Might just take a while, just like Luke did. Brock Purdy's right now shooting swamp rats. Womp rats or whatever. Right now with the A-wing, right? Connor, do you have a Luke Skywalker?
I do, but I don't. I'll say it, but I don't. I'll concede right away. I just thought of Joe Burrow because I thought of him just being the chosen one to, get rid of Mahomes.
Okay. All right. What's your next one? Yeah. You throw out a character.
So I had a funny one for Darth Vader. I thought Antonio Brown made a pretty funny Darth Vader.
God, I don't know.
Dude, I was trying to think of someone for Antonio Brown. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Darth Vader never said, "Hey, I'm part of the dark side," and the dark side never called him or said they wanted the dark side to be part of.
I'll raise you. I'll do you one better. I'll upgrade it to the version of Jar Jar Binks where he's secretly a Sith Lord.
Okay, what are we gonna do though? I mean, that's two characters. Yeah. So so you're.
I'm just spitballing.
Okay.
I'm just having fun.
Everything always goes off the rails when I throw it to you. Ethan, save us again. Darth Vader. Do you have a Darth Vader?
I don't have a Darth Vader actually.
Okay, I have a Darth Vader. My Darth Vader is Lamar Jackson. All right, and let me explain. All right, so he rewrote the QB book with his running ability and playmaking skills early in his career. Right, so he's this incredible force. Right, he went through some injuries. All right, and when he recovered, he went through some dark times, namely not having any wide receivers to throw to for years. That transformed him. Okay, that transformed him to he wasn't as good as he was before. You know, just like Anakin, right? Became Darth Vader. All right, but now he signs a 5-year, $260 million deal with $185 million in guarantees. The Ravens signed Odell Beckham Jr. They draft Zay Flowers, and all of a sudden, he's at the Return of the Jedi. You know, he's the glowing ghost that made his way out of the darkness, and now he's standing next to Obi-Wan and Yoda, you know, in the full glory, you know, everything like that. So he made it through, and he's back to being a good guy.
I like that.
I think that's the best one.
I can't compete with it. I don't think any of us have. I mean, Connor had Antonio Brown, but
I wanted laughs, which I got, so I'm happy. I think Brian's was the best.
Antonio Brown is like the nameless rebel that gets shot first. You know, whenever
that's doing him an injustice. He was a very good wide receiver
in the beginning of the movie. You know, whenever Darth Vader first comes onto the first Princess Leia show, bam! That's Antonio Brown right now.
Well,
okay,
now, he's like a Jedi that's like fallen out of, or like a guy that used to be good but now isn't.
Okay. But then I guess we'll workshop that. Okay, Antonio Brown. Yeah, Ethan. I think it's your turn to pull out a character.
All right, so this is kind of a twofer. All right, so I have Obi-Wan. Do y'all have one for Obi-Wan?
I do have an Obi-Wan. I do.
So mine has two characters.
Okay, go for it.
Obi-Wan is Seahawks front office.
Huh?
Darth Maul is their backfield.
Nice.
And Obi-Wan cuts Darth Maul in half.
I like that one.
See, that was a stretch. Told y'all it was a stretch.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
good one.
It's but you mentioned that you didn't have anybody in the prequel. Then there's a prequel.
He said the post. The sequels.
Okay, I got you. See, my Obi-Wan. Okay, because I tried to stay. Do you remember who my Luke Skywalker was?
Yes.
Bruce Hall. Okay,
yes, so exactly who it is.
Yeah, so my Obi-Wan is Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's been around forever, was elite for a time, and always found a way to accomplish an insurmountable feat. Even though this is his first go-around with the Jets, he looks like he's lost his MVP step and has real potential to expire at the end of the first movie. Okay, and he'll be mentoring Luke.
Does that mean that Lamar Jackson will be the one who finishes him off?
Oh, it could, like in the playoffs. Yes, yeah, and it definitely.
You've got the script,
and it'll be Aaron Rodgers giving it up.
So Jets Ravens in the Super Bowl. All right, guys.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
It would have to be the AFC Championship.
This episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Make sure to place your bet. Lock in all your bets for Jets Ravens Super Bowl.
I was like, he's keeping that money. He's not sharing it with us.
I'm thinking that it won't happen. I'll take whatever line there is on it's not going to happen.
You said Super Bowl? There's no way that...
That's the only way the playoffs they could meet.
They're both in the AFC.
No, there's no way that could happen. Yeah.
Oh, the Jets. No, you're right. Yeah, I was thinking about the other...
Welcome to 2023.
Right. That could happen in the first round.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry, guys. It's really taking a second for me to understand that Aaron Rodgers isn't an NFC quarterback anymore.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah. It's gonna be strange.
Wow.
But oh well.
Okay.
Life moves on, and so do we. All right. It's my turn to throw out a character. Well, actually, you see, you did. Hang on. You did two characters, Ethan. Right?
Yeah.
You did Obi-Wan, and you did Jar Jar and Darth Maul. Okay, but you throw out Jar Jar Binks?
Not yet.
I'll throw out Jar Jar Binks. Okay, let me just go ahead and let me just jump to that. Okay, so my Jar Jar Binks is Zach Charbonnet. Yes. Seattle's rookie Seattle running back. Let me tell you. All right. This is through no fault of his own, but the drafting of Charbonnet screwed up something beautiful in Seattle. Okay, we had an incredible talented running back in Kenneth Walker. That was everything we all hoped for once he became a 3-down back. Last year, he had 1,050 yards, 9 touchdowns off of 228 carries. All right, with head coach Pete Carroll's focus on running, he was set to have a fantastic, beautiful, incredible season. Incredible 2020, right? Then they drafted an electric running back who gained 1,359 yards last year with 14 touchdowns. Carroll has already said that they plan on switching out the 2 backs intermittently, killing Walker like Jar Jar killed the Star Wars franchise until The Force Awakens.
Did you expect anything different?
So see, that's what he just killed something beautiful. Star Wars was incredible.
The thing is the subtle racism of Jar Jar, but I think you got most of it covered there.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not going to go into the sociology of it. Okay, I'm just going to the face of it. Okay, all right. Yeah, any of you guys have a Jar Jar? Well, you had your Jar Jar.
I had a Jar Jar, but it was literally, I was going to save it for the end. It was just a joke. I was going to say it's Patrick Mahomes' little brother.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice.
God.
That's yeah.
It's not a player. It's just a joke.
He's actually been arrested.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough air in a fantasy show about that. Connor. Connor, move on.
This is a good. So I'll do 2 because I know that Brian has these 2.
You got the face. You said you're going to give me a face. Oh, yeah, you said that.
I knew you were going to give me the face.
Yeah, everybody, pre-show, Ethan we didn't really share our picks. Sorry to interrupt you, Connor. But Ethan said that Connor's going to laugh, and you're going to give me a weird face when I say what I got to say. Connor laughed. I gave you a weird face. Bravo. Okay, Go ahead, Connor. Yeah.
One second.
Oh my gosh, man! I can't believe that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll move on. Ethan, you go ahead and do a character.
Okay. So I kind of, I don't know if I want to. I mean, you kind of described what happened with Charbonnet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did a similar thing with Lando Calrissian as Charbonnet, right? So he didn't want to screw over his buddy Han Solo, right? But he got pulled in by the dark side, and they had to do it in order to keep his city. So that was my comp to the Charbonnet situation, was Lando Calrissian.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
He didn't want, and he ended up. What I think is going to happen is that someone in that backfield is going to be relevant, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how that's going to happen, but Lando did eventually come through for Han in the end. So I'm going to choose to be optimistic about the backfield.
You see, my Lando's Jameer Gibbs. Yeah. And
then by proxy, David Montgomery would be Han Solo.
Well, we haven't got there yet.
So
no.
Can I do my Han? That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So this is the first one I came up with. This is my best one. I didn't want to use it right away. So, B. John Solo Robinson. That's just the most punny of them all. It's the one I'm most proud of. Thought of the soonest.
And the reason?
Shut up, man! Like, quit hating. Like, you know the reason. It's a pun. B. Han Solo Robinson.
Okay.
You can just sneak it in there.
No. It's great. It's great. Yeah, it's perfect for a shirt. But for the show,
like that's like
it's funny. Nickname. It's funny. No. We can call him that, dude. If you want to, be Han Solo. I'm cool with that, dude. Be Han Solo if you want.
Yeah,
to
come on, man.
Yeah. But as far as like the character comp, I mean, as far as the funny comp,
I mean, he's fucking awesome. Han Solo definitely seems like the kind of guy that would go to UT for college. Need I say more? Come on.
He was a carpenter or a handyman before he became, Han Solo. Yeah, the actor anyway. Let me go and describe Jameer Gibbs. All right, so when you're first, basically, with Jameer Gibbs, okay, when you're first introduced to him, he screws over the main character. Okay, in this case, David Montgomery. Okay,
Mhm.
but could in the end be incredible for fantasy as a pass catcher, since the scouting report said that he can run routes and split out wide, but he can also use body control to adjust for high passes, catch with his hands extending beyond his frame, and then reset his feet for a run after the catch yard. Okay, I mean, and so you're talking about a guy that is actually shifty enough to be a receiver. In his college career, he had 2 with Georgia, 1 with Alabama. He caught 103 passes for 1,212 yards and 8 touchdowns. Since DeAndre Swift is now traded to the Eagles, becoming part of a running back by committee, okay, that includes Rashad Penny and Kenneth Gainwell. It looks like Gibbs is set to be the pass catching back, and with his route running ability, he could fill the void left by Jameson Williamson. Yeah, so you see what I'm talking about. In the end, he could be something glory, but right now you're seeing him, you're like, that guy, he screwed over the main character.
Yeah, but you had a feeling that something he was going to come through. He was too cool to not come through, right? In the end. And I have to agree. And also to add to that, the Lions receiving situation, they need another receiver.
Yeah.
So it's highly probable that Montgomery and Gibbs are going to be on the field at the same time, with Gibbs lining up, maybe in the slot or something like that, or maybe even outline.
Right. And so I bring this up also to mention that anybody that's hitting the panic button on David Montgomery, I know that I've started doing some mock drafts. I did mock drafts before the NFL draft and did mock drafts afterwards, and David Montgomery is falling. Okay, that's great for people like us and for you that it's watching the show. All right, but I'm telling you, man, if you're one of the people you're watching and you're panicking on David Montgomery, it's a mistake. Okay, he's back to exactly what you thought he was going to be before the draft. It's no big deal. They just have Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift, but a younger version of the two. All right, so I would not be worried about it. And I'm with the doc. I really think it's quite possible you're going to see a lot of running, like Montgomery as the runner and Gibbs, split out, wide, as a receiver or as a receiving back, and it's going to be Montgomery in the goal line. Yeah, dude. So I don't see any reason to panic on David Montgomery at this moment. So if you are, pull back. This is a good time to ask you guys, with Swift going to the Eagles, do you have any thoughts on, if you're in on Swift, are you out on him now? Were you out? Are you in on him?
They also got Penny. They're and that Hurts is still the running back numero uno there.
Okay. Yeah, right.
So, just to get a refresher on the backfield. So obviously Penny, Swift,
Gainwell's still there, right?
And did they still have what was the other guy?
Boston Scott.
Did they still have Scott?
I think they have Boston Scott. Yeah, correct.
Okay, so that's a pretty crowded backfield.
4 running backs plus a quarterback that runs.
They're not gonna have. Not all of those guys are gonna stick around. I have to believe not all those guys are gonna stick around. That's like that's a lot of running backs to have in the room. But hey, maybe we don't know what this offense is gonna look like. Y'all have talked often about how the Phillies offense might not be as effective. It might be a completely different offense, and that one that isn't great for Hurts.
Right.
And that could be a reason why they're stocking up at running back. I think for me, it would be, one of those really late, like say if I went quarterback, tight end early, and I've made it through I'm in the mid-late rounds, maybe 8, 9, 10. If Swift is there, I might pick him up, because if something happens to Penny, win something. But so you could say the same thing about Swift, unfortunately, because Swift has also had injury problems. And if they're going around, here's a question: if Swift and Penny are going at about the same time, who do you pick?
Swift.
None of the above.
But I'm not picking one of those guys.
But if I had to choose for the exercise, I would definitely choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that point, is what you're
yeah. Because if you think about it, this time last year, Swift was going in the 4th round, something like that. He was going third, high. He's got the talent. He's got that talent,
Yeah, he's faster than Penny. He's a little younger.
And I remember last year, whenever he was hurt, and I was, and my running back started getting plinked off. At one point, I had all the running backs, and then all of a sudden they just went boom, boom, Damian Pierce, bam, Pierce, Brees Hall, Pam, just they all started falling off, right? And so I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get my running back. And I was looking at DeAndre Swift because I remember what a force he was when he was on the field. So the talent is there.
And also last year, there's there's a lot of questions going around where it's like Swift is supposed to be healthy, but the Lions just weren't playing him. So obviously, like, we don't know how much of his inactivity last year was due to his injuries and how much of it was just due to the fact that the coaching staff just didn't seem to like him.
Right. Right. Exactly. Connor, so you were going to do Han Solo anyway, is that right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, and so that kind of piggybacked Ethan. I mean, you can throw in a character if you want, or I got a few more.
See, my Han Solo is like this like cool guy, right? Like he's kind of like the calm, cool, and collected, very confident. So I didn't really see anyone in the draft that exuded that per se. So I went existing player, and I definitely went for Joe Burrow because
Nice.
there's not any more of like a cool guy, like hold on to your butts, like kind of guy. Like that just seems like Joe Burrow's personality.
Yeah,
So that's
you have
who
a good Chewie with Jamar Chase.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So see, my Han Solo was actually Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
right.
but similar reason, I'm assuming.
Well, he always finds a way out of a tight spot.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
always, and he always seems to have a plan, and he
Mhm.
never disappoints. Okay,
Yeah.
so and then of course that would make his Chewbacca who?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce. Yeah.
Travis Kelce is a bumbling fool.
He's a Chewbacca. I mean, he definitely is, dude. I mean, because seriously, Chewbacca would be completely lost without Han Solo.
Mhm.
And so, what would Kelce be?
And Han Solo would be lost without Chewbacca.
There you go, and see how those two work in tandem. So that's how I had that. Connor, as you're playing with your beautiful luscious locks, do you have any? Yeah, there you go. Any Han Solo or Chewbacca?
No, that's well, I
And
had
his
Derek.
Han Solo was Luke.
Oh no, you did.
Yeah,
You had
I had
B.
Derrick
John
Henry.
Solo, or B. Wasn't that B. John Solo or right?
B.
John
John Solo Robinson.
Solo? Okay, we'll talk about Derrick Henry then, man. Who's
Derrick
your-
Henry was Chewbacca because he's freaking huge. I mean, he's the biggest guy in the NFL.
I don't know. Ask Gigantor on the Colts.
Oh yeah, Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah. And then the other one, the younger guy, who's even bigger than that guy.
Yeah, the
I mean,
6'7" tight end.
Yeah,
with the-
yeah. See, Derrick Henry for me, I put him as Boba Fett. Yeah, that's who and that's why I was asking you about the between Mandalorian and Boba Fett, because I mean, the reasons are simple. I mean, he was always been a badass and someone you never wanted to be on the wrong side of. He had always been dependable to get the job done, but his armor's starting to show a little wear and tear, right?
Yeah.
And with the Titans drafting Tajay Spears, which is a 5'11", 195-pound running back that is a one cut and blow. Okay, not go, but one cut and blow. Okay, player. Not only not only can he cut, all right, and take off, but he ran an unofficial 4.47 40. And is also tough enough that it's hard for the defenders to bring down. Okay, I mean he has moved piles in college and bowled over would-be tackles. All right, so that along with the possible new quarterback Will Levis taking over some time in the season, it's just not looking good. It's just not looking good for Derrick Henry, and just like the TV show, The Book of Boba Fett, it's questionable if Henry's going to get renewed next.
Yeah, see, I went the easy route with Henry, not Boba Fett, just the ice monster at the beginning of Empire Strikes Back.
Nice. I like it.
He's
I like
chilling
it.
in his
Solid.
cave, having a good time, but you're gonna have someone come in there. I guess that was Luke chops his arm off, right?
Yeah.
That's who chops his arm off.
And so that creature is kind of similar to what now? What other mystical?
The Yeti.
Oh, hey!
The Yeti.
Yeah.
Told you it was, I mean, the thing is, like, if you there's like his build. I mean, he's just like he does. There's a reason why that's his nickname. So you gotta stick with it.
I just saw a
Fucking
video of him running up a hill. Like, I mean, he ran straight.
He does stuff like that.
Like,
It was on TikTok, dude. That came up said Derrick Henry up a hill. I was like, I gotta see this. There he goes, runs up the hill. I was like, damn, that's a big dude running up a hill. That's some scary stuff to see that coming at you. You know, that's gotta be some scary
I
stuff.
know.
Yeah. Who's next? Who's next?
Can I get my? Can I
Go.
get? So I have two. These are very serious. So that's why I saved them for last. They're not jokes at all. So I have a Darth Sidious, Bill Belichick, because he's old, you know, and he's dying, but he's like the evil mastermind that controls everything. And he probably uses his lightning on his players behind closed doors.
Okay, I guess Darth Sidious is my generation's emperor. Yeah, I guess so.
It's the same guy.
Okay.
It's literally the same guy.
Oh, okay.
He's a Darth.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the Emperor. Yeah, that's the Emperor from episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He had different eyes. The Emperor I remember looks like Ozzy Osbourne. You know.
Well,
so,
Darth Sidious is him younger.
Okay. Before he looked like Ozzy.
Yeah, because those are the prequels.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Am I just wrecking your brain right now?
It's like okay. Yeah. I mean, that was the one I was telling you about. I think it was you, Connor, or Ethan. I forgot who it was. Whenever I said about I could put a fantasy one for the joke. It would be Bill Belichick would be the Emperor. But the emperor that I choose though was Christian McCaffrey. I mean, because that dude is all powerful. I mean, he is just amazing. Nothing can take him down. I mean, he's just an unstoppable force, and that's the Emperor. Okay.
It's true. It's pretty good.
You know who takes down the Emperor?
Who's that?
Darth Vader. So that
Lamar Jackson.
AFC Championship game.
Okay.
Is Ravens Jets, and then the Super Bowl is Ravens 49ers.
That's the script, guys. The script is leaked. Once again, go on to DraftKings.com, not a sponsor.
Oh, geez.
Put in your bets for Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
So
sorry.
Do you have
the Emperor? That was who I had as well. Ironically,
Nice.
It was just like completely unstoppable because you can't stop him.
Mahomes?
No, McCaffrey.
McCaffrey. Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
wow.
so
Here I
good.
am thinking I'm witty. Yeah. And
Yes. I couldn't
And
think because it's like all the other players like show weakness, or all the other characters have some weakness to them, except for the Emperor, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that
Yeah.
was a
Okay.
good one.
All right. Okay. All right. And Ethan, go ahead, man.
All right, hold on. Let me find my notes because I had my one. I lost it. Do you want to?
Oh, let me go.
While I get
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, because I have like a 3-pack.
Yeah.
You found it? Did you find it?
Yeah, I did, but you go ahead.
Okay. No. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. The floor's been yours. Go ahead.
So we've done Darth Vader, and I don't know if we're comparing like because you have Darth Vader, but then you have before Darth Vader, you have little baby Anakin man or baby boy Anakin. Then you have adolescent, moody Anakin, right?
Yeah, with his rape eyes.
Yes.
Rape eyes. Okay. Yeah.
That's who I'm going for here, and my pick for that is Will Levis.
Oh.
He is mad. He is upset. He wanted to be a first-round pick. Everyone told him he was going to be a first-round pick. You had your Qui-Gon Jinns of the world saying he's now the odds-on favorite to be the number 1 pick. And then he falls and falls and falls into the second. And we all know he's not the third on the depth chart, but that technically is how he lines up now. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's mad. He's gonna go kill a bunch of kids. Maybe.
Nice.
I don't know with his lightsaber in the Jedi Academy. That's what Anakin does.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. But he's got a chip on his shoulder. That's where it stops, right?
No, that's good. That's really good. As far as Will Levis goes, how would you look at him in fantasy? Is he a quarterback that you're keeping an eye on? Do you think he's going to be something that like he's going to start with the job? He's going to eventually take it over? What's your thoughts? Because it's not Malik Willis and Tannehill. I don't know. You know, has a hard time staying healthy. So
As
what do you think?
fans, I mean, I think we all agree it's a lock. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud starting. Richardson has a greater than 1 in 2 chance of starting. I think it's like 70 to 80% certain that he's starting game 1.
No, I don't think the game won.
Oh, really? Okay.
No.
Well, would you say Levis or Richardson has more of a chance of starting week 1?
Richardson.
Well, see, the thing is, dude, is that I don't think they're going to put Richardson in on the opening day. Okay, that sounds like a Gardner Minshew.
But I guess what I'm getting at is, in my mind, Levis is the one that has the least chance of getting, like, it's going to be the longest before we see him compared to everyone else.
Okay, so the question should be, who's going to start first?
Yes, exactly.
yeah, Richardson or Levis. Yeah,
Yes.
and I think it's going to be Richardson. I agree with you on that.
And what that tells me is that I want nothing to do with Levis early on, because I know I can get a backup, because like none of those guys are going to be your one, right? You're going to have a quarterback. The idea with one of those 4 is going to be that you got someone you can plug in, right? And you're getting him at a great value. I'd much rather take like a Rodgers or a Geno Smith
or Russell Wilson.
But I do think you should keep an eye on the waiver wire for Will Levis.
Yeah.
Because I do think that he's better than Malik. And he has the rushing upside that we haven't seen from like CJ Stroud, for instance. CJ Stroud didn't rush a ton in college. I think that's probably because he didn't have to. And when he goes to the Texans, he's probably going to have to. But I think that Levis is going to have more of a rushing upside than Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. Not quite the same as Richardson. But I think Richardson's what everyone's going to be targeting. So everyone's going to be tripping on themselves for him. Levis, I can see mid part of the year, whenever you're running your waivers and you're picking up things, you want to be a week ahead of everyone. So keep an eye on him.
So he's like this year's Kenny Pickett.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Or even like a Brock Purdy. You know, your quarterback comes in halfway through the year, didn't necessarily see it coming.
Yeah, gotcha.
I like it.
Okay, Justin Fields. If
that happens, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, I have 3. I'm gonna do 3 because I know that we're starting to get a little long in time. And so let me just go ahead and do 3. Because they're all droids. Okay, all 3 of these guys are droids. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So the first one, C-3PO, Tyler Lockett. All right. He always does exactly what you ask. Has been dependable for years, but it doesn't look like he's going to last much longer. Okay. All right. Number 2, R2-D2, DK Metcalf. All right. He is a must for this offense to be successful. And the drafting of JSN, it seems to affect Lockett more than Metcalf, considering the positions they play. He'll always be there to help you out when you need him in the red zone. And there has been some discussions that Metcalf's value tied to his target share, which I do not believe that's the situation. Yeah, he's going to be a red zone. That's what they look for in the red zone. Basically, dead game. Always dependable. The offense can't run without him. You can't fly a X-wing fighter without R2-D2. Okay, and the last one, BB-8. Okay, BB-8. All right, and that is Jackson Smith and Jigba, JSN. Yes, he's the new droid that just showed up in the new incarnation of the Seahawks, who could make an immediate impact even though it doesn't seem likely. JSN worked 2 years ago with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson and flourished even with that competition. He had 1,606 yards and 9 touchdowns. So it seems likely that with the defense focusing on DK and Lockett, he'll be able to just slip down the field. Yeah. So there you go. Those are my three droids. What do you guys think?
Very nice.
I love it.
Very
I love
nice.
it. And you got them all on the same team, too.
Yeah, well, that's, because they all on the double side.
Very nice.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys got any droids or just want to keep going?
I have one final one. Andy Reid is Admiral Akbar.
Andy Reid. Okay.
Jar Jar, fat joke.
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or the yeah, or he could be the guy from Jar Jar's boss.
Oh, you been Punish.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that guy. I got you. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. See, my Colonel Akbar. Okay, is Cooper Cup. All right, because it's a trap. Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. Even though the Rams did nothing to address their wide receiver, so Cooper Cup will be the lead dog again but last year was troubling. Matthew Stafford went out, and that's who he has a mind meld with, and Stafford has even hinted at retirement. To further fan the flames, the Rams drafted national championship winner Stetson Bennett in the 4th round. So Cooper Cup could end up having a questionable QB play on top of the injury risk, on top of the Rams showing that if he's dinged, they won't push him to play if they aren't in playoff contention. So you could have your number 1 first round draft pick sitting on your bench. Fantasy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that happened to me with
Tyreek.
Yeah, well, yeah, Tyreek Hill is a good one. So Connor, you exhausted your list. Do you have any more, Ethan?
No, I've exhausted my list.
I have a couple more. I have 2 more.
Let's have it.
Two more. My next one is Ray. Okay, the lead for Force Awakens. That is Bijan Robinson.
Mhm.
Yes, he's the new hope. He has
Mhm.
power that he probably doesn't even know he has. And once he gets acclimated to the NFL and the Falcon system, he will be unstoppable. The Atlanta Falcons were first in carries and first in the red zone carries last year. He will be a key part of this Falcons offense like Ray is to helping out the rebellion.
Okay.
And the last one, Kylo Ren. And that is Bryce Young. Yes, Bryce Young. His amazing ability. He has amazing ability, but just kept falling out of favor no matter how hard he tried. Then, as he stayed persistent, people noticed the little guy, and he rose all the way to the top of the draft to take over at a pretty good landing spot. Young has Miles Sanders and Adam Thielen to help him out, and I've said for years that a new QB's best friend is a pass-catching running back and a short yardage target with good hands. Then the Panthers drafted 6'2", 220-pound Jonathan Mingo, a playmaking wide receiver who ran a 4.46 40. Yeah, his power could be fully realized early in
I like it. It works.
So,
Right.
but Jonathan Mingo, Ethan, what do you think about him being drafted? I know Connor has some thoughts, and that's why I'm asking you, because I know Connor has some thoughts about Mingo.
Well, Connor, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, Mingo was his name-o. And I really think he's going to be a good guy to draft this year. I mean, what Brian said about DK ultimately is true. He's the red zone guy. But I think that Mingo is going to provide some great value because I think he's going to be the cheapest of the 3. And I do think that there is going to be some opportunities for him to shine because Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, they're both very physical. They might sit out a game or two, so you could get pretty good value for how cheap Mingo really would be.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mingo is a guy that's going to.
No, I'm sorry. Mingo's on the wrong team. We're talking about JSN.
I said Jonathan Mingo, dude.
Mingo's on the Panthers.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on the Seahawks. No, Mingo's. I'm sorry. Mingo's going to be competing against Thielen and DJ Chark. So I already think he's the best wide receiver.
Competing.
Yeah, he's competing. Yeah. He's already the alpha.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Okay, is that he's going to be getting acclimated to the NFL just like his quarterbacks getting acclimated. And I think at the beginning of the year, that's when you're going to see Miles Sanders. You're going to see Adam Thielen. They're going to be the guys that are going to be like ones that like Adam Thielen might be somebody you can draft and then probably trade, for some put a package into something. He's going to burn out once Mingo gets his feet under. Because that's the whole thing with any of these rookies that you draft. Any of them, even Bijan, you have to have patience. have patience because they're not going to come straight out of the gate. Bijan might, but he will probably be the only one.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have a lot of that going on in the league where you have, like, say we talked about this. I know that you're maybe not as in on this as myself or the gut, but like this team swapping that's going on. Like Lazard's probably going to be worth a lot more early in the year than he will later in the year, right? Thielen's going to be worth a lot more early in the year than he will later in the year. I think that it's also possible that with the Texans, Bobby Trees might be worth a little bit more early in the year than he would be later in the year because these are veteran wide receivers who are, professional route runners. They're going to be a safety blanket. And then as they get acclimated, you're going to see that transition happen. And Mingo, I mean, to me, what that does, I think Thielen could keep his value. It's DJ Chark who's probably going to lose out to Mingo. If Thielen stays healthy, I can see Thielen still being relevant throughout the season. I think it's DJ Chark that's going to drop in value.
That's fair. That's a good point. Let's go ahead and come back through any of the drafts, the picks that came through the draft that kind of jingled your chain that we didn't talk about. I know I kind of dominated the conversation with Gibbs. Do you guys have any other opinion about Gibbs? No.
No, you covered it perfectly. It literally is same situation as it was before, except Gibbs is not as much of an injury risk, at least to our knowledge.
All right, Anthony Richardson. Okay, I wanted to go over him real quick because there's something else we didn't touch on. We already know that he, like we said, his running ability is going to be great. He's probably not going to start the year. At least that's the guess right now. I mean, dude, come on, everybody. This is May the 4th. Okay, we're literally using like the Force to try to figure out, whenever Richardson's going to play. But when he does play, head coach Shane Steichen, I mean, he runs a lot of RPOs, right? And so that's going to be great for him and Jonathan Taylor. So I know we're not worried about Jonathan Taylor. Let's talk about Michael Pittman. Okay, let's have a conversation about Michael Pittman. Because last year, he was like a fourth round draft pick. He had he had all this expectation. He has all the talent. Had questionable QB play. With the addition of Anthony Richardson, does that change your thoughts on Michael Pittman?
No. If anything, it makes it worse now.
Yeah, I think with Richardson, the reason why people say, and this isn't unique analysis, the reason people like him is his rushing upside, right?
And because he can throw a ball far.
Passing accuracy.
Yeah.
Sure, you can throw the ball, 60 yards standing still, but who gives a crap if you can't hit your target, right? Like, so the issue there, I mean, with Pittman last year, part of the issue was he wasn't running downfield. Like, most of his passes were like very short and close to the line. So, I mean, those kinds of passes, I guess he could still get fed from Richardson, but to me, I just can't. I'm not drafting Pittman anywhere because it's just too. To me, I don't see any value to it really.
Yeah.
I see. So you're you're like the guy on was it that movie Major League? That they basically that's what he is. He can't hit a curveball right. So yeah. So he's great. He's great and everything. He just can't hit a curveball. He needs Jobu or whatever to get him to pass. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, one thing that's also you guys didn't touch on about Pittman was that in the third round the Colts drafted a big body playmaker, wide receiver Josh Downs. Okay, so that now he's
OU guy.
I believe I don't. Yeah. Would it bring you peace? Let me ask you this. Okay, let's say it this way. Would it bring you peace for you to think that he is from OU? Would that make you happy?
No, there's just there was a player that I remember people talking about potentially being one of the top picks, but he wasn't. Like JSN and all the other guys are going. It isn't the same guy, but it's someone who has a similar athletic profile.
Yeah, he went to North Carolina.
UNC, yeah.
Yeah, UNC. Yeah. But no, this is a big bodied receiver. And that's going to be something that's going to be taking away these short targets, and that's where Michael Pittman was making any hay at all. Okay, last year was on short yardage receiving. He was the guy that they went to. All right, if he this is going to affect him. So yeah, it's not looking good for Pittman. Is there any round that you'd want to draft Pittman at all?
Like the 6th and above.
Okay, so you're okay like in the middle rounds then.
I mean, no, like in theory, like I don't want him. I want nothing to do with him for fantasy, just because of everything Emo said. Like it's a run first team with a run first quarterback, and I mean this wide receiver has never been great for fantasy. Like we're chasing the pipe dreams of the pipe dreams we used to chase. Like there's so many better things for fantasy that we could be spending our draft capital on. Like realistically, double digits, like 11th round or like above there. Yeah, I'll take a shot on Michael Pittman, but it just doesn't seem worth like having him on my team because I just drop him to pick someone else up.
Okay, so you were talking about. Okay, let me ask you. So in those rounds, this is a question for both of you guys. Would you rather pick up Michael Pittman to put the stash in your bench just to see because he might be the wide receiver 1 on a team? And you and I've talked. We've all talked in the offseason about how. If anything, he's at least a wide receiver 1, so he's a wide receiver 1. All right, would you prefer to have those guys or a good defense or a good kicker?
Him.
Yeah, I mean, assuming, let's say that, we've really picked it dry. You don't have a bunch of people taking like 2 tight ends and 2 quarterbacks and people are stocking up on wide receivers and running backs and it's getting thin. Yeah, I could see going for Michael Pittman. I'm normally stocked up to a point where I'm happy by the time I would be happy with taking Michael Pittman.
That's what I'm saying. Like round 12, but that's where like you've already, you've got your wide receiver 3.
And because like I'm trying to think of who typically goes around that time. To me, typically we'll see, let's see, around the 10th, 11th. That's when Bateman and OBJ are going, right? That's Michael Thomas goes a little after that. So those are the guys who are going about then. Like when you think about it in those terms, Michael Thomas is not going to be the one. Actually, when I say it out loud, I realize how wrong I could be. Because he used to be great.
I don't think he ain't got shit on Olave.
Bateman or OBJ could easily be the one. One of those could easily be the one on arguably a much better team.
Or Antonio Brown.
Yes. Wait, so is he actually on the Ravens? No. Okay, thank you.
There is an A Brown. There's an A-N Brown. There's an A-N-T Brown. But it's Anthony Brown. Yeah. Yeah, he's number 12. I looked it up.
To me, like if it came down to it, I'm picking one of the Ravens receivers over Pittman any day.
Okay. All right. Anything? But CJ Stroud. Is that even somebody that you're picking up as a QB2? I mean, what are you guys thinking?
No, for the same reasons we talked about before.
Same thing with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
So the only rookie quarterback you guys would want on your roster is Richard. Is that correct?
Yeah, because they're rushing.
Okay. All right.
I can see. Yeah, I'm not drafting Levis. I'm just not.
No.
I mean, yeah,
that's keep an eye on the waiver wire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, unless you're like in a 14 team or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. There was some news before we close out the show. Is there anything more draft talk that you guys want to talk about? Okay.
Wait. I do one team we have not talked about, which is super fantasy relevant. So we probably need to touch on it and how the draft affected them. Is the Vikings. All right, with the addition of Jordan Addison, right? So there's a tight end that people have been targeting in the top 3-4 rounds. Hawkinson, regularly going by the 3rd, maybe sometimes slipping down to the 4th. They just drafted a stud wide receiver. So what does that do to Hawkinson? Is he no longer worth it in the 3rd round?
No. Nope. Yeah, because that was the big thing was that he was going to be the running back. I'm glad you brought him up. Because he's going to be the wide receiver too, and because my biggest reason why I was excited about Hawkinson is because the end zone target or red zone targets went away. It was Adam Thielen. Okay, now and obviously it was looking Hawkinson's way. So 1 and 1 equals 2, right? Well, now you got Addison in. Addison is an incredible wide receiver. In his own right, I think he had over like 1,000 yards last year, double-digit touchdowns if I remember correctly. Yeah, and he's put in a situation which is a perfect spot. All the defense is going to be focusing on Jefferson or Hawkinson, and it's going to allow this guy to explode. So yeah, that's a very good point that you just made up, or you just brought up, I should. Yeah, about Hawkinson, Connor. Same question. Good question from Ethan. Same question. Yeah.
No, I don't have anything else.
I do not have anything to add.
I'm sorry. I know. We probably have to end it. To me, I can only think of one more team, one more wide receiver picked in the first round. The Chargers.
Yeah.
Wait, was that in the first round? Was Quentin Johnson the first?
It was like the 22nd pick.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go and talk about it. Yeah.
Because Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are important wide receivers. I'm sorry. I know that we're going long, but to me, that's another important fantasy question.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some fantasy questions to ask you guys that have some news that I'd like to touch on before we end. But let's go and talk about this, because you're right. This is important. Which you're mentioning. Okay, go ahead, Connor.
No, I don't have. Oh, Quentin Johnson. Yeah, I mean, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, both injury prone. Mike Williams has proven time and time again that he cannot come through whenever we really need him to for fantasy. And I'm really excited that the Chargers got a new guy.
Yeah, this is how I would list it. Okay, I would list it as the drafting is something that's fantasy relevant, but not to Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen's fine. Okay, I mean the position he plays and how he's used in that offense and the way that Herbert looks at him, he's fine. The one that it affects right now, 2023, is Joshua Palmer. Okay, that guy has not. He had all the opportunity last year with Williams and Keenan Allen down, and he could not take over the job. So I think that the Chargers are looking at this is going to be a replacement for Palmer, and the reason for that is because Palmer was supposed to be the eventual replacement for Mike Williams. In the event because he's kind of shaky as it is. Now I think it's certain that now Quentin Robinson is going to be the replacement for Palmer, and eventually the replacement for Williams.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. I've been kind of targeting Williams in the 9th, 10th round to get maybe that fourth wide receiver on my team. Someone who, if Mike Williams is your fourth, that's not bad, right? You don't want him to be your two or whatever.
I like it,
but that kind of shakes things up because injury prone, and Quentin Johnson is a big dude that can do a lot of contested catches down the field. He's good at the deep ball, good in the outside. So to me, it freaks me out about Mike Williams.
No, I wouldn't. Not this year. Next year. Okay, so or whenever Mike Williams gets dinged up, you run out and go grab him. Yeah, immediately. Yeah. Don't fall for that. That's another Colonel Akbar. It's a trap. It's Palmer.
Palmer.
Yeah. So because everybody's gonna be screaming about that guy and the rookie. They're not gonna be ignoring the rookie. So yeah, that's a really good important thing that popped up. One thing that happened around the draft time was we already are worried about the Buffalo backfield. Okay, we're already worried about it, period. Okay, you had James Cook and you had Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary leaves. So great, it's going to be James Cook. Well, no, they go ahead and they sign Damian Harris, right? And so, okay, it's going to be Damian Harris and Cook. Okay, well, now they signed Latavius Murray. Okay, so signing a Latavius Murray, how are we looking at the backfield for the Bills fantasy? Are we interested at all? If we are, first of all,
we're not looking.
Okay, if you're not interested, that's fine. But still, answer the question. If you had to choose one, who do you choose?
It's Josh Allen. He's still the running back one.
Okay, but just for the exercise, not for your team, but just for the
probably Damian Harris.
Okay, Ethan.
No, Cook.
Cook? Okay.
I'm going Harris.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm going Harris with no problem there too. Yeah, Murray, I'm not too nervous about. He's just like a guy that's going to be a backup in the event that something happens. So because Harris is injury prone. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's why
I
I'm
think
going Cook.
yeah, I understand that. I can see that. What's your thoughts? You guys' thoughts on Kansas City declining the fifth-year option on Clyde Edwards-Helaire and then turning around and re-signing Jerick McKinnon?
Pacheco goes down a little.
Yeah, let's talk about this. That's what I want. That's why I wanted to bring it up because I know I was excited about drafting Pacheco whenever the season ended last year at the end of the Super Bowl. Pacheco was already on my list of people to draft. Okay, but the thing that concerned me was that listen to this, guys. Last game of the season, 12 rushes, 95 yards. He had a 39-yard run in. AFC Championship, 10 rushes for 29 yards, but he did have 5 catches for 59, so that helped. Super Bowl, 15 rushes, 76 yards, touch. Okay, now is that production that you can get excited about? That's production with McKinnon. That's when McKinnon was pumping. All right, so are you excited about Pacheco? I mean, does this McKinnon signing change anything, or are you excited about Pacheco? Ethan, thoughts?
I view Pacheco and McKinnon as complementary backs, where McKinnon's going to be doing a lot of the passing work, and Pacheco is going to be more the traditional running back. I'm actually kind of excited about McKinnon because we saw a lot of instances, especially around the goal line, where McKinnon would come in and it would be a passing play, and they would break down. Mahomes would do his magic stuff as he does, and dump the ball off to someone, and that might be McKinnon. So to me, I'm very excited about McKinnon. It's someone that's like, again, you don't get enough RBs in the first several rounds. You're needing depth later. I'll target McKinnon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he finished like what running back 1 and 2 and stuff like that at the end of the season. So he has that ability, and so they re-signed him for a reason. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I mean, you can ship that away. I mean, that is a rotten eclair. All right, that's day old bread. Okay, yeah.
I had him last year, and it was like for the first maybe 5 weeks was scoring points.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the worst kind of 18 points you could possibly get because they came on one play. Right. And if you didn't have that one play, the whole week would have been a crapshoot. So I shipped him off, right? Because I knew that was a house built on sand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So McKinnon.
Okay. Last one, and I'm just gonna say one name. Okay, and let you guys talk about it. Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb signing with the Jets. Yeah, agreed to.
It's just a locker room presence.
Yeah. I didn't think we'd have this much bad news about one potential awesome player in one off. We had one story that was bad for Kenneth Walker, right? We had one story that was bad for, I guess Hawkinson. It was just story after story after story where it's just Wilson's value is just like the dude that turns into RoboCop. He's just getting blown apart in the Jets, right? His value is just getting eviscerated. And it's like, what are we gonna do with this?
So the NFL's going no.
Yes. And actually it's Rodgers who's doing it because Rodgers is asking for all the buddies to get. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because first he's not wrong because it was Alan Lazard, and that hurt. He already had Corey Davis there. Then they signed McCole Hardman, and then now there is Randall Cobb. Yeah. So okay, let's talk about Garrett Wilson. So Ethan and I are concerned. So let's go and talk to the dude over there. The dude abides. Okay. Connor. So where are you drafting Garrett Wilson, and why aren't you worried?
I'm not drafting him, and that's why I'm not worried. But I mean, theoretically, I was seeing him go in the second, maybe the bottom of the third. I feel like he's more like maybe a fourth, or even a fifth guy. But the thing is, he's a rookie, so you're gonna have to be patient. So it sucks because best case scenario where you're drafting him, what 2?
Second round, second year, dude. This is a second. Not
Who?
rookie.
Oh, Wilson. Oh no, you're right. Well, Wilson's a second year guy. And I know that Rodgers is really finicky with his wide receivers, so it still probably will take him some time to gel with Rodgers. So it's still almost be like a rookie wide receiver getting his bearings type thing. Like it's not until halfway through the season that it becomes what you expected it to be.
Yeah, the only thing I would say that is that Rodgers is actually attending like the optional workouts that
That's good. That's a
with the
positive
Jets.
sign.
So trying to get that gelling going.
And he's
I
already meeting with Wilson. Like I've seen videos of him, throwing passes and having Wilson run routes.
hmm Yeah, so they're already trying to start to work on that. And he's already showed like with Christian Watson that if he has a talented big receiver or tall receiver, that he'll definitely throw to him. And Wilson is just amazingly talented. I would be ecstatic to grab him like in the third round. I in a 10-man, fourth round or
Wilson
I guess
Wilson or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
oh, dude, Wilson. Yeah, I'm not even a stop. Yeah, not even. Yeah, because Wilson, in my opinion, Wilson's going to grow as the season goes, and in my opinion, Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to shrink
Yeah.
because
Wow.
Jameson Williams when he comes. Yeah.
Here's a power move. Assuming maybe Wilson has some acclimation period where he's gonna have in games he's gonna have the melding time, but he's gonna need time to meld in the actual gameplay, right? So you maybe let someone obviously if it's you, Brian, this isn't gonna apply to you because you're gonna stick with him. But someone who might be impatient, they spent a third round pick on someone in the first few weeks, he's not doing great. You take one of your guys that's doing hot and you try and pick him up.
Thielen.
Yeah, exactly. Or Chark,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
if he's doing well, or even if you feel that Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're probably going to have an easier job doing this. But if you feel that Brown is going to trend down while Wilson will be a rising star, pick the time to make that move. And that'll probably be easier to get that deal done than you might have to do some, you might have to throw some additional pieces in to make a Thielen or trade work, but that's something to think about because you might say depending on where your position is in the draft, Brian, is Wilson coming to you currently?
He did for the first time today.
Okay.
And I almost fell out of my chair because I had to choose between Wilson and Waddle. And I'm like, what's going on here? This is fantasy draft.
That's where I think I would go Wilson because
I did.
because Wilson has competition, but not an obvious one. Not an obvious better person, right? It's all conjecture about him having mind meld with these people, which doesn't necessarily come to fruition. There was all this talk about Wilson and Sutton having a mind meld in the offseason. They didn't meld, they melted.
Melted,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Melted,
Melt,
right.
not
No,
meld.
got too hot.
Nothing good.
Yeah. What I would say is that anyone concerned about Garrett Wilson is that this is the exact same crew. With the little minor tweaks that was in Green Bay. Okay, and Christian Watson was the alpha, not Lazard, not Cobb. Okay, we have Wilson who's already an established alpha, and these guys are going into the system. Okay, so you can see what I'm talking about. Like Garrett Wilson is somebody that's going to be that sneaky guy that you're going to be like, dang it, it's going to be like the Amon-Ra St. Brown of last year. You're like, man, I should have drafted that guy. Why did I go after Michael Pittman?
Or should have listened to the gut.
Well, and not listen to a certain other podcast that has a silly jingle about players. And that makes you go that way. Don't trust it's the Joe's Crab Shack rule. If it's too fluffy, watch what you're eating. Okay, watch what you're eating. Okay, all right, man. Yeah, so that's basically all of what I got right now in our little check-in. So I don't think we did the commercial, did we, Connor?
No, but that's
No?
that's okay. Shout out to High Volume Music Radio.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's go and shut this thing down. So that does it for our draft review. Our Star Wars May the 4th be with you draft review. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure if you enjoyed the content to make sure and hit that click and the like, the like button, and also hit that bell. Okay, hit that bell. Make sure and hit that, because we do episodes like this all the time. Well, our normal format is that whenever news breaks during the off season, we'll jump in, but we don't normally have a weekly show. Just whenever things pop, and then we'll just kind of put it all together like we did this time. But then whenever the season starts popping up, we start with once a week, and then we go into twice a week. So we start ramping up just like the season does. So make sure and click that bell, because that way you'll get notifications. Because when you know that a Shoot the Gap episodes is there, something happened. Okay, and you also get, of course, shorts. We get our little sniper episodes, get all types of stuff. So it's kind of cool. Make sure and check out Connor's book. It's on Amazon. You Know Too Much. Make sure and check that out. And then also every Thursday, that'll be today. Okay, today on High Volume Music Radio. Okay, make sure and download the app from 4 p.m. Central to 6 p.m. Central. Drive Time Sports with Charlie and Brian. It's my show. Make sure and check that out. So on behalf of Ethan, the Doc Marshall, and Connor, the Gut Marshall, we want to make sure and thank you for watching. We hope that this year is an even better year than the last. And you guys have any wise advice, any parting shots from here till we start our shows? Maybe something about mock drafts. What have you learned in mock drafts that you might want to share with?
Bring Yahoo Chat back.
No, that was a big mistake. No. Yeah, so I can have somebody go, "That's stupid. You're dumb. Why are you doing that? Duh, duh." I mean, no. Yeah,
that's what I did half the time I was on. I'm just kidding.
Oh, dude.
I was so happy when they.
One of the things that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to draft with real people, and like we'll get together and draft often, and I find that when I do drafts without these two, I get my players that I want most of the time, and it's this peachy keen, nice, easygoing thing. You get people, real people, especially people who think like you do, which you're probably going to have in your actual league. That's when you can start to actually test yourself, because you want to put yourself in a mock situation, because you're going to be in a real draft where someone gets the player that you wanted, and then you look like the Seahawks at pick 5 in the first round, where they're all just like, no one's happy, no one's knows what's going on. They just put the pick in and they look like ding dongs.
That was Dallas.
Yeah, do the mocks. Yeah.
Whenever they got sniped from Dalton Kincaid. Yeah. I mean, you saw them like, what do we do? Pick the other tight end. I don't know. Yeah. Exactly. Well, hey, we didn't talk about Dalton Kincaid. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
The next one, and we should do a mock, like a live mock.
Yeah, we should.
Once the rookies are there.
Golly, I feel like I want to talk about Dalton Kincaid, but
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah. So, okay, what I would say is that right now you're just starting your journey on making your mock drafts. Write down everybody that you want, okay, and prioritize, and do not compromise, okay? Because as information comes in, you get flooded, you get pulled one direction, you get pulled another direction. Make sure and do that, because right now is the sanest you're gonna be, okay, from this whole time. You're about to go nuts with information and with anxiety and with planning and strategy. Right now is your most sanest time. Write down the guys you want and then stick to it. And that would be my. And well, Connor, are you really going to stay with bring back Yahoo Chat? Come on, you got to get more Yahoo, more advice than that.
Don't trust the fantasy footballers, because last year I did that and I drafted a couple of guys that I am really mad that I drafted. So just do your own thing. Don't trust them.
Don't be sheep. Yeah, well,
don't be sheep, because every single other fantasy football podcast goes off of their rankings, and it fucks up the whole ADP for everything. So don't go off of that.
Yeah, I have two. I have one more ring that's on order that I got last year. Okay, and it's all because I did my own thing.
I have two rings too from doing my own thing.
Yeah. So make sure and do that.
My own thing isn't very good. Maybe I should do their thing.
No, you've been doing their thing too much. You have to do even less like them.
You're doing too much. Yeah, do nothing. Literally do nothing.
I literally did that last year, and that was the first year I didn't make the playoffs.
Oh
So
my
See?
God.
for the ballers.
Yeah. Watch the show. We'll help you out.
Yeah,
We got 5 rings between Connor and I. Yeah, so yeah, we kind of know. We've been rolling since 18, right? 2018, 2019,
Yep, that was
2020,
the first-
2021, 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go ahead and end this thing in with the last line. Help me out, guys. Remember, everybody, in fantasy football, as in life.
Don't
Don't
dream it. Be
Be
it.
it.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah. Good luck on your drafts. Good luck this coming up.